Alright guys, this is as tight as. Suppose it hasn't been undone for that many years. Okay, just hold the camera, young Curlsy. I just put one of these sockets on. I just had to go with my other little setup. Oh, that's no good. Okay, need a bit of pipe, mate. Alright guys, I'm going to have a go with a piece of pipe on this. This is tight. There we go. Alright. I bought this socket set. Filters a couple of years ago. I've only used it a couple of times, but tell you what, when you need it, this don't feel good. Bloody hell. Almost feels like the housing on the filter's buggered. This is what happens when you leave stuff.
12 years.
Oh, not 12, I reckon it's 10.
Well, that's 08.
That's 08. That's 2010 on the battery. I replaced the battery. I probably only went fishing once or twice in this boat. I was only using it once a year at the most. Look. Alright guys, we got that off. There's that socket. Now, oh, don't do that, Tone. That's making a mess. Okay. Alright, I'll go and get that socket off that filter, but geez, that socket worked well. Just one sec, Anthony. I'll just show you those other little... Where's that other little grabbers?
Yeah.
I've had these a long time. They're a set of grabbers. There's actually a set in the socket set I bought too, but I've had this for years, but that didn't look like it was going to look like it was just going to crush it. All right, well that came off. That thread up in there might be a bit... It's all going to need a good clean up under there. Yeah, I'll have a look at that later. I just wanted to get that filter off so I can get the number off it. That's it. Alright, okay. Alright guys, we're just going to remove the fuel filter housing. It's going to be a lot easier doing all the plumbing to it with it disconnected. Alright, this has all got to get replaced. This is like concrete. All these hoses are going hard. Put a new fitting on. So, cut that there. Actually, cut it there. Alright, that's that. These all guys. Alright. That's the fuel filter housing. Buy all new hoses and fit them up and then feed them back through. That's your fuel delivery into your filter. That's out into the motor. Alright. We're going to replace all the fuel lines. That's part of it over here. I don't know whether you can see it. That's the old fuel line we chopped off. Fuel tank sits in here. Replace both breather lines. We bought the fuel lines, so it's just a matter of I'm going to have to get some. I'm just going to have to get some of this smaller fuel line. This other stuff you can just buy down at RTM. They might have the other stuff there, I don't know, but that's proper fuel line for a boat, so the outboard. So I'll try and source that. Alright, leave it at that guys. Alright guys, we're going to put the fuel filter hoses on. Do it before we bolt it up. a little bit of Vaseline on your O-ring there. Right, this is the fuel line, fuel out, there's the arrow. Just went and got some new fuel line going out to the motor. It's a good idea to make sure you face your hose clamps down so you can, if you've got to nip them up, you can get to them. Right, now we've got the fuel line here. The one coming from the fuel tank under the floor. That's going to go on there like that. That's going to mount, so we put that round that way. So that's easy to get to if you've got to nip it up at any time. So that'll get fitted up back in under there. I'll do that a bit later when I climb in the boat. Pull these lines through. Pull that back. That gets pulled back. Hang on, I'll just spin you around. That bolts up under there. I've just got to pull the slack back on the fuel lines itself. Alright guys, that filter's in. I actually had to take the filter off the housing just to get the bolts done up. It was a good idea I didn't film it because there's a little bit of language going on. Anyway, it's in. Probably go and do the fuel lines at the back here on the motor in a sec. We've got to put the tank back in over here, so that'll be a couple of days away. We're going to clean the bottom of the boat out. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Alright guys, I'm just going to make up this fuel line. This is the line that goes, clips on there. You got a little short line. This is your pump. Just make sure you got the arrows facing towards the motor. Right, the flow. See the arrows there? So that's that way. Get a couple of clamps. I might look at getting some O-clamps fitted later, but I'm just going to use these. I think I've got some O-clamps in the other workshop. Just pretty well put that on there like that. Another clamp. That's that. That's your little short. Then we've got the one coming out of the filter. We'll just join to that. Give me a sec. Right, that round that way. Make it so you can do your clamp up while it's fitted if you need to nip it up. A lot of people make the silly mistake with those clamps. Put them on upside down, you can't get to it later. Alright, that one's going to sit like that, it's going to sit something like that. Just do this clamp up. Pretty well. It's always hard to put on for some reason. Right, that's on. That lays in there like that so you can get to it. So basically you just want a bit of fuel line, bit of slack, give you a look there, that just lays in there like that, have enough for the motor to swing around. Need another hose clamp. You can get all this sort of stuff down at RTM stores. They're pretty well all over Australia, or they're mainly on the east coast I think, I'm not sure. They're definitely up in Queensland. I've seen them up there. There's a few around Sydney, they've got heaps of stuff. Heaps of stuff for boats, camping gear, fishing. Not a lot of fishing gear, but they sell sounders and stuff to fit your boat out. Well, that is still not clipping on properly. Wow. Oh, that clipped in. Make sure you got that clipped on, guys. See that one come off now. Well, there you go. All you do then is pump your fuel up into your boat. We've got to put the fuel tank back in yet. All right, that's that little job done. We're slowly getting through them. Got a bit of stuff to tidy up here. The old live bait tank set up. We're going to probably look at putting one, fit one in under the floor that'll come up, pump up when I get a new live bait tank. I might look at making one that fits in here or something. All right.